Hey guys, so I didn't record the lesson for today's class, so I'm re-recording it by myself, so you won't see the rest of the class today. But I am going to go over exactly what we went over in class, so you get the same information. So the first thing that we did today in class was we revisited our assignment from last week, or I'm sorry, from last Wednesday, from Wednesday. So on Wednesday, you were assigned this assignment. It was called Why Chicken, Inferencing, Characterization, and Multiple Choice. Now, this assignment is in the week 6 folder. It is right here. But before you worked on the assignment, you were supposed to go through the PowerPoint and read the story. So you should have done this already. However, I do want to go over the APE section that you were required to fill out for the short answer response because I want to make sure that we're doing that right. So for the short answer response, you were given a question. It says, what can the reader infer about Junior's outlook on his life at the end of the story? And to answer this question, you needed to use APE. So answer, prove, explain. You answer the question, you prove your answer with text evidence, and then you explain the connection between your answer and the evidence. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this out. So my outline is just where I kind of hash out my thoughts and my ideas. And then down here is where I'll clean it up and make it an actual paragraph. So for now, A is to answer the question. So what can the reader infer about Junior's outlook on his life at the end of the story? So how do I think Junior feels about his life at the end of the story? Well, if I look at my story, now you have a digital copy, I have a paper copy, but at the end of my story, it talks about how Dad was about to shoot Oscar the dog. And it says, so poor and small and weak, I picked up Oscar. He licked my face because he loved and trusted me, and I carried him out to the lawn, and I laid him down beneath our green apple tree. I love you, Oscar, I said. He looked at me, and I swear to you that he understood what was happening. He knew what Dad was going to do, but Oscar wasn't scared. He was relieved. But not me. I ran away from there as fast as I could. I wanted to run faster than the speed of sound, but nobody, no matter how much pain they're in, can run that fast. So I heard the boom of my father's rifle when he shot my best friend. A bullet only cost about 2 cents, and anybody can afford that. So after reading this, I think, and after knowing the story, right, if you haven't read the story, don't do this assignment, go back and read the story, and then do the assignment. But after reading the story and going back to this ending, I think, in my opinion, Junior, our narrator, is sad about this life that they have and this life that they're kind of stuck in. He feels like, this is all we could do for Oscar. We had a bullet, it cost 2 cents, that's what we could afford, and that's what we had to do to help Oscar. So I think that his outlook on life is a sad one. I think he feels like he's stuck. So that's what I'm going to put for my answer. I'm going to put Junior is sad because he feels that he is stuck in his situation and there is not much he can do about it. Now, that's my answer. Now I need to find proof. What in the story makes me feel like this is the case? This is how Junior feels about his life. So I would go to the story and I would find text evidence that makes me think, yep, Junior feels like he's stuck in this situation, like there's nothing he can do, like this is his life and this is what he has to deal with. So after looking through the story, I would say that the best line would be in in page, let me see here. In page 13, so at the bottom of on the pages at the bottom, you see page numbers. So I think page 13 where it says, but we reservation Indians don't get to realize our dreams. We don't get those chances or choices. We're just poor. I think that shows that he feels like there's nothing he can do. Yes, he can dream about being something else, but he doesn't get the option to actually live out those dreams. So I'm going to go ahead and put my text evidence under the P. There's my text evidence. Then I need to explain how I think this text evidence shows that he feels stuck and there is not much he can do about it. Well, during this line, he had just finished talking about how his parents would have been, like, his mom's so smart, she could have been a teacher, dad would have been a musician, but again, they're poor, they're reservation Indians, and they don't get to live out what they could be. So I'm gonna go ahead and put, not there, over here. Because of the poverty in his home and his native community, the sad reality is that, no, actually, let me erase this. Junior feels that the sad reality is that he is stuck where he is and will never get the opportunity to do more or be more. Now I have my outline. Now I'm going to make it into a paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences. Now I'm not just going to copy and paste what's in my outline and call it a day. No, I have to make it sound like a paragraph. So let's see here. Junior is sad because because he feels that he, like his parents, notice I'm adding stuff, is unfortunately stuck in his situation where he is living in poverty and he feels that there is not much he can do about it. In the story, Junior states that, and then I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste my quote. States, oh, we Indians. And then I'm going to explain. This line is important because it highlights the poverty and lack of opportunities. Because of the poverty in his home and his native community. I'm misspelling everything today. And then I am going to copy and paste this part. But if you notice, just a heads up, guys, if you see red little lines under words, that means you misspelled them. All right. I'm going to make this the same font. So if you notice, yes, I did use stuff in my outline, but I also added more because the stuff in your outline is not the only thing you're going to include in your answer. So I said Junior is sad because he feels that he, like his parents, is unfortunately stuck in his situation where he is living in poverty and he feels that there is not much he can do about it. In the story, Junior states, but we Indians don't get to realize our dreams. We don't get those chances or choices. We're just poor. That's all we are. This line is important because it highlights the poverty and lack of opportunities. Because of the poverty in his home and his native community, Junior feels that the sad reality is that he is stuck where he is and will never get the opportunity to do more or be more. So again, I used stuff from the outline, but that is not it. I added more. I turned it into a paragraph. So when you go back and do it, you can do it like this. You can keep your information, just make sure that you're following what I'm asking, that you're not just copying what's in the outline and that's it. But I did want to go over this so that you know how to answer using APE. The other thing that we went over today in class is a review for the CBA for next week. So next week we have a CBA test. You have both revising and editing and reading. If you go to Schoology, you will see the PowerPoint CBA revising and editing review. When you open that PowerPoint, you will see something very similar to this, if not identical. Now, this one here that says Flores 9 weeks 1, week 6, this is my copy, but you guys, when you click on this assignment, you'll have your own individual copy. So what you're doing here is you're going to go through your slides in your own assignment, and you will have instructions on each slide, and then you'll have an activity that follows. So you're reviewing these concepts here. Let's make that. So you're reviewing those concepts here. So let me go over the first one with you, capitalization. So capitalization, capital letters are like red flags because they draw attention to important words. Listed below are some of the basic rules for using capitals along with some examples. So rule 1, capitalize the first word of a sentence. The example here is the students attended school early in the morning. You would capitalize the, right? Because that's the first word in the sentence. Rule 2, capitalize the name of a specific person, place, or thing, but not general ones. So example, my high school, Lehman High School, was one of the 3 high schools in the district. Lehman High School is capitalized because that is the name. But high school in general, you would not capitalize. Similar to city, I really want to visit New York City. It is the only city left on my list. In this case, city is part of the name New York. It's part of the city's name. However, city alone would not be capitalized. Capitalize the names of months, days of the week, and special days, but not the seasons. So I love seeing my family during Thanksgiving. It is my favorite time in the fall. So you would not capitalize fall, but you would capitalize Thanksgiving. One of my favorite things about spring are the blossoming flowers. And Easter, you would capitalize spring, but not, you would not capitalize spring, but you would capitalize Easter. So after you read the grammar rules, you would go to the next slide, which is an activity. Underline the words that should be capitalized in the sentences. I went to the San Marcos Farmers Market and found the most strangely shaped carrot. So you would do this for all 5. You would underline the words that need to be capitalized. Compound predicate. So a compound predicate is when 2 or more verbs share the same subject. For example, Miles the puppy escaped and ran down the street. Now, verbs are actions or things that the subject is doing. In this case, the subject is Miles, and Miles, what he's doing, or the verb, is he escaped and he ran. My friend laughed and almost tripped because she wasn't paying attention. My friend is the subject, and the verbs are laughed and tripped. So you read the rule and then you come and do the activity. Underline the compound predicates or the 2 verbs that share one subject. This one's really important, double negatives. A generally incorrect way of writing that uses 2 negative words in one phrase. Double negatives create positive meanings. For example, Mr. Morton isn't not boring. By having the double negatives, you're saying that Mr. Morton is boring. That hardly doesn't matter. Hardly is considered a negative term, even though it doesn't have like the not or never, right? It's not as obvious, but hardly is a negative. So saying that hardly doesn't matter is like saying it does matter. You can't never leave though. That's saying you can leave. If you want a negative outcome, you need to eliminate one negative word. So Mr. Morton isn't boring. That hardly matters. You can't leave though. So make sure you don't have double negatives, and then remember the more or the less known negatives like the word hardly. And then you come here Highlight the 2 negative words in each sentence, then write a new sentence underneath that uses only 1 negative word. So that is what you're doing for the rest of the assignment. You're going through the rules, and then you're reading the grammar rules, and then you're doing the activities for it. This is due, let me give you the exact due date here. This is due Tuesday, October 20th. And remember, please do this because this is part of your CBA review for next week. If you need anything, guys, send me a message, shoot me an email, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys. Don't forget about tutorials. They are during Lobo time, advisory, and then, of course, logging in the last 15 minutes of class for assistance. Bye, guys.